Salute to all the Patreon members, all the subscribers, all the new viewers. I want to thank you guys for your support and your contribution made to the platform. It really means a lot to me. If you guys can do me a favor, please hit the link in the description box below. We have the link for the Patreon page and the Facebook page, and the links in the description box below. So check those out. Hopefully you guys can interact with other like-minded brothers in that Facebook page and learn some game and some behind-the-scenes footage on the Patreon page. All right. You guys don't know who I am. My name is Splash Wave Beats. I've either been living or traveling abroad for the last 15 years. I am out the country right now at this moment. All right. In an undisclosed location. So I know the ins and outs of, what it's like to be a tourist, a resident, a student, a worker, entrepreneur overseas. All right. So this story that I'm about to tell you right now is actually, this actually happened back in February. I must have missed it. All right. I didn't even hear about this until today. Maybe you guys are privy to it, but I'm going to give my 2 cents on this story once I'm done reading with it. But, I kind of, missed this story back in February. Okay. This happened. This article was published February 13th, 2024. Passport bro, beware. Or passport bros, beware. Another American dies in Colombia amid recent spate possible drug-related unalivings of U.S. tourists. Let me first show you a picture of the guy. So you guys see on the thumbnail there, I'm going to show you more pictures of him after I read through the article. I don't know who this woman is. I don't think this is the woman that unalived him, but I think it's just a random woman that he took a picture with on his travels. There are other pictures of him online traveling as well. All right, so that's kind of the thing he does. After the United States Embassy in Colombia warned last month, I remember that at the beginning of the year, they gave a warning. All right, I'm going to read the warning towards the end of the article because this other warning that they gave, I didn't know that they said this second part. All right, they must have gave 2 warnings out. The first one was like, hey, beware of the people down here. And the second one was on some like, don't participate, in the activities down here. We don't want you guys promoting that or something like that. I'm gonna read it word for word, but I'm gonna tell you. One of them, a 47-year-old black man named Dakari Earl Cobb. I believe that's how you say his name, Dakari. Let's just say Mr. Cobb. One of them, a 47-year-old black man named Earl Cobb. Mr. Cobb had been staying in a room in the city's Santa Lucia neighborhood, but had gone missing for 2 days, reported Spanish language website El País, I don't know, on February 7th. As the concerned owners of Cobb's room checked on him, they opened the door to find him unalived, according to the outlet. Authorities said in the hours following the discovery of Cobb's body on the night of February 5th, they realized he was missing several personal items, including his credit cards, cell phone, and passport. El País reported. So once again, typical robbery gone wrong, overdose, drugging this person, overdose, and then, taking everything that he had. So, this is him right here. The owner of the room told newspaper El Colombiano the man had been there for a month, nothing more. And we rented it because they asked us for a favor because he was coming to stay for about a month, nothing more. The man did not respond further when we left the room, and when we found him, the man was unalive. I don't know. That sentence sounds kind of weird. Forensic investigators are looking into exactly how his unaliving happened, according to the outlet. And then they're talking about other U.S. tourists that lost their lives since the beginning of this year. Anthony G. Lopez, 29, was recently found unalive in a hotel in Medellin in the city's Laureles neighborhood. Manly Mark Conlon, 37, unalive in a La Aguacatada of Medellin after a fall from the 17th floor of the building where his Airbnb was located. After a fall, they said, from the 17th floor. Okay. The unaliving follow a starting. Yeah, my bad. Let me take it easy. I can't even read today. The deaths following a startling recent rise in the phenomenon of robberies and overdoses in Colombia often involve U.S. citizens and in some cases, including the use of online dating apps. All right. That was a warning they did give earlier this year. Stay off these dating websites. Okay. Well, in Colombia, in South America. Criminals are known to lure victims with dating apps like Tinder and Bumble to bars, hotels, and restaurants with the intent of assaulting, robbing, and even unaliving them, according to the embassy. At this time, it is not believed these deaths are linked, as each involve distinct circumstances. However, several of the deaths point to possible drugging, robbery, and overdoses, and several involved in the use of online dating applications. There was a reported 200-person spike in thefts against foreigners, including Venezuelans, toward the end of last year. So they're robbing other Hispanic people too. It's not just Americans. You know, a lot of people, especially a lot of evil people in America that laugh at stuff like this, you know, which I find it very demonic. You laughing at somebody losing their life in another country, just because they were traveling and trying to have a good time. You know, they assume that it's just Americans going down there. No, there's Asians that travel over there. There's Africans and Europeans and other people from the continent of South America who travel over to other countries, you know, within South America, such as Colombia. And it's happening to them as well. Toward the end of last year, while violent deaths against foreign visitors to Colombia rose by 29%, with U.S. citizens compromising most of these unalivings. All right. The Colombian government recently acknowledged the appeal of sex tourism in the country, where prostitution is legal in many of its largest cities, while discouraging travelers from visiting with that goal in mind. We want more and more foreigners to come, but we want them to take part in tourism that adds value, said Medellin Mayor Federico Gutierrez. The Wall Street Journal reported anyone who thinks they can come here for that sex and drugs tourism, we don't want any of that here. Well, why the hell is it legal then if you don't want it there? That don't make no sense, right? You run a 7-Eleven, but you don't want people to come there for the fuel and just pay for the fuel and leave. You want them to come inside and buy pineapple sodas, right? Salt and vinegar chips, right? And a Milky Way and a big icing honey bun and a scratch off. That's what you want them to come there for. But hey, yeah, I know I own this gas station, right? Fuck the gas. Come in here and buy the products. That's what I really make money off of. I don't want you purchasing the gas. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna wrap all the pumps with yellow tape so that when you come here, you're only gonna go inside and purchase what's inside. That don't make no sense, right? So yes, we have all this debauchery here that we've made legal But as they say right here, anyone who thinks they can come here for that, we don't want any of that here. But you got a store, right? You got a store wide open. You got your store, your trap is wide open, saying it's legal with a neon sign in the front talking about, hey, come on in. But hey, we don't want any of that here. Get the hell out of here. Anyways, let me show you another picture. All right, hold on. Let me share this. I'll get to you in a minute. All right, so this is the brother right here. A couple pictures of him. Taking pictures with ladies. All right, taking pictures at restaurants, enjoying the food, enjoying the ladies. All right. This must have been one of the Colombian news outlets out there that reported on this as well. Judging by this photo right here, it looked like he wasn't even staying in an upscale spot, in an upscale area. Okay, you look like you went in the trenches and rented out a home, right? You need to rent out. And if his family is watching, I'm not trying to sound insensitive. I think this is horrible. I don't think this should have happened to him at all. I think it's very disgusting what happened to him. And I hope, whoever did this to him was picked up, arrested, and charged. This is very disgusting. But I'm looking in front of this building right here. This looked like the trap. This looked like the barrio. All right. If you're in a high-end area, you downtown, or you doing your research finding, hey, where the rich where the rich folks stay at, right? What are 4-star, 5-star hotels at? And that in that area, I want the whole area to be a strip of nothing but 5-star hotels. What are neighborhoods I need to stay away from? Where's look at a map and pull up like a crime map of the city of Medellin, and wherever it says red, let me stay away from there. And wherever it's like white or blue, whatever color, where the least amount of crime is happening, let me stay over here. Let me find out what kind of hotels they have over here. Let me see if they have security there. Let me see if they're taking IDs over here. But this man, and I'm assuming this is where he stayed at. You don't stay in nothing like this, right? If you go in some place where the crime is very high and the murder rate is very high, right? You can't go cheap on a treacherous city like that. You can't go cheap like that. And I know, me saying this is not going to be able to bring him back, but each one teach one. I'm teaching you guys how to move. All right. But you get my point. Let me put it back on the article. Let me bring it back to this article right here. Okay, salute to Wab it up. Wow. Boy, that's a crazy name. Wab it up. Brothers, keep your black out of Colombia. Thank you for the super chat donation, $4.99. Thank you for the super chat donation. I appreciate it. Mr. Dub. I'll just call you Mr. Dub. All right. I would go further to say stay out of South America. All right. But thank you. I've seen comments from the community laughing at these stories. Yeah, and I don't understand what's funny, because this happens in America. This does This does happen in America. It happens everywhere. Um, and these same people that are laughing, especially the women, they go on little girls' trips, right? Some of these women, they going to Jamaica, they going to the Caribbean islands or whatnot. Should we hope and wish for the worst when you travel down there? No, we hope for that you come back safe also. Have a safe trip and come back safe also. And I don't know why people feel that men who travel deserve bad things to happen to them. Because this guy right here, because I came across this TikTok page where this woman was talking about, you know, of course she hides her face and everything. She says, "Oh, all these men right here." She just talks about nothing but passport bros, getting unalived in South America, talking about how they deserve it because they're, uh, you know, they're participating. You know, they're participating in the sex tourism down there. How you know that? How do you know that? Brothers, for the most part, a lot of brothers don't even, they don't even engage in that type of activity. They don't even pay for sex. Most brothers don't pay for it. How do I know? Man, I've traveled all throughout the world. Well, there's some places I haven't been to. Let me take that back. There's a lot of countries that I've traveled to. All right. And when you go in these clubs, these are clubs where brothers are just there to have a good time, dance, drink, eat the food, and women are in the clubs working. And if they working, brothers are like, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna pass. And the women will tell each other, hey, leave these black men alone. They're not paying. Get with the Asians, get with the East Indians. They're the ones that's paying. So if brothers have a reputation of not really paying for sex, what are you talking about them engaging in sex tourism? Right? Taking advantage of what? I got on a dating app, right? They open up, they have an airport over here. They built an airport over here to allow um, not only mail and other important resources to get imported and exported within the country, but for people to travel outside the country and for foreigners to travel inside the country. They don't have that airport there for nothing, right? That brings business, that helps out the economy. It's booming, right? Transport has been, the number one commodity for countries all over the world for centuries, right? So if somebody wants to travel there and they have a tourism scene there, somebody wants to travel and get on a dating app, this man didn't commit no crime. This man didn't engage in the sex tourism. These are just people who, you laugh at other people because it's like, oh, you so lame. They're thinking this person's so lame. They can't get nobody over in this one country, so they got to go here. Well, what about the Colombians who come to America and do the same thing? That live here, that stand on the corner and are prostitutes. Why isn't anybody advocating for their arrest if it's so bad then? All right. And I've never tricked a day in my life. I'm just saying, I can look at somebody and say, hey, I don't agree with their lifestyle. I don't agree with doing that or doing this at all. But this man's not committing a crime. He's not hurting nobody. Doesn't deserve to lose their life if this, that, and the third happen. All right. But anyways, when you go to some of these places, first of all, stay away from high crime areas. This brother was in the trenches. All right, salute to Sam Combo. Forget South America, Europe, where it's at. Didn't you just come back from Portugal? Or were you posting up old pictures? Thank you for the super chat donation. I believe you just came back from Portugal, right? Or are you leaving? I don't remember. Hold on, let me take this off the screen. I want to show. I want to show this. Hold on. Open image and new tab. I want to. This is what I need to make the thumbnail right here. I swear to God, I'm not laughing. This is not a joke. This is not a game. I don't think this is funny at all. God, I can't wait for this new computer to come in. Like this laptop is running slow for whatever reason. This right here. This man was staying in a favela. All right. Why? I wish, man. I want to zoom in and let you see the struggle. Look at these steps, man. They got burglar bars on the door and on the window. Yeah, somebody gonna run up in there and try something. I'm like, brothers, y'all gotta be a lot smarter than that. Like, come on now. There's nobody at the front that this man could have brought this woman to and said, hey, no, give me your ID and let me scan it to make sure it's real and let me make a copy of your ID. And if she didn't want to make a copy, see, people who are going to try something on you, they don't want to give up their ID, especially if the people at the front have thorough technology to detect, hey, this is a fake ID. All right. There was a story, or somebody shared that. Either somebody shared that or there was a story talking about that, where there was a guy who brought this lady over to a hotel. They wanted her ID, but she didn't want to give them the ID. So then she left, and he figured, like, damn, this woman could have robbed me and drugged me. Okay, he said, I got back from Portugal in July, headed to Sweden on Friday. Yes, that's right. Our brother Sam Combo here, he's heading to Sweden on Friday. I had a homie, he went to Sweden a few years ago. He said it was he said it was nothing but Africans there. He thought he was gonna see, like blonde hair, blue-eyed women, tall. Nah, he saw nothing but Africans, like East Africans there. So that's shocking to a lot of people. They think they're going someplace and they're going to see one group of people and they end up not seeing what they thought they were going to see. I heard France is like that. I heard Paris is like that. Well, when I was in Thailand, I met a Thai girl, right, who told me about her experience going over to Paris. And, this is a passport girl too. This is a passport girl too. See, they try to make it seem like men are the only ones with passports engaging in perversion when they travel overseas. No. All right. This was a woman. There are plenty of women who travel abroad also, but this was a Thai woman who told me about her story going over to Paris. And she said that there were a lot of Africans there. And she was like, that's crazy to me. And I'm like, I don't know. Why would that be crazy? She thought she was going to go there and see a bunch of French white boys and, like, there's a lot of women I've met, throughout my travels in Asia that either wanted to go to France or they've been to Paris or they wanted to go to Paris, right? And I'm like, why do you want to go? Oh, it's the city of love, and I want to see the Eiffel Tower. So they want the same things as a lot of other men want, right? Traveling to another country for an experience, good food, right? Take pictures, and hopefully they might meet somebody they like. All right. Women do the same thing too. I don't know if France and the UK are safest places at the moment. Yeah, isn't there like a huge riot going on? I don't know. Has that died down or is that still going on? I think there was some African immigrant that unalived somebody over there, and there was like riots were just going off in the UK. Is that still happening or no? Man Cub Studios 34. Thank you for the $19.99 super chat donation. Much appreciated. It's true that us brothers don't even trick like that and flex like other races of men. Growing up as teens, growing up as teens and up, growing up as teens and up, we use our mouthpieces and our essence to get the women we want to smash or date. And yes, that's true, right? Even if you have a lot of socially awkward guys out here, they do not want to pay for it. I've only met two brothers my whole life who actually paid that I knew of that was paying for sex. One of them was like 5'2", right? And he was African. He's from Cameroon. And another guy, he was a black Canadian. He's a black Canadian. He actually lives in Calgary. And this was back in like the late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s, right? At a time where it was totally different, right? He was making money hand over fist, living in Korea, and he was pulling in about 10,000 a month, and he would take that money and travel to Japan, the Philippines, Thailand all the time, right? So he told me about his stories. I might get him on here one day, but those are the only two brothers I ever met my whole life that was actually paying for sex. You might have guys that was paying and didn't want to say anything, right? But the majority of other brothers I met, that's not what they do. And I would actually, scold them, criticize them, and get on them about not really paying. I'm like, what are you doing hanging over there for? What are you doing hanging over there on the strip in Pattaya if you're not paying for it? You take out a whole month. I knew somebody every time he came to Thailand, he would rent out a room for a whole month and just walk up and down that strip every single night, not paying for no woman. I'm like, right? Don't even if that's not what you're doing, don't even put yourself in that environment because you know that environment it when you step into a woman with no money that breeds you know that after a while that breeds disrespect because then it turns into hey don't even talk to me you black right and then after a while it's like these women they'll hang out with guys knowing that they want money not saying that they're working girls brothers feeling like okay damn I pulled look what I got you going back to the hotel doing something with this chick and then she was like no that'll be this much I'm like hold on baby you didn't even tell me that you was a working girl well I'm telling you right now and you need to pay me this much or else I can cause some issues for you I can make a phone call and make it real hot up in here and they end up giving them the money right deceiving men I've heard that happen many times in Thailand all right I didn't even hang out over there like that I didn't even hang out in Pattaya. I swear to God, I've only been to Pattaya. I've only been to Pattaya 3 times. The first time I went by myself just to see what it was like, right? I've been everywhere at least one time in Thailand. Well, not in Phuket, but Nana Plaza, I've been there once, right? I wanted to walk. I didn't even most people they walk through the front, take a look at it, and then keep on walking. No, I actually went in there, and it's like 3 or 4 floors, right? I walked each floor and walked around. Women were spanking me as I was walking around, and then I got up out of there. So I go everywhere at least once. I went to Walking Street once in Pattaya to see what it was like. Then my partners came into town on 2 different times, and it was like, hey, we over here in Pattaya. And I went down there to go see him twice, but I never stayed past like 1 o'clock in the morning. Right. I always got up out of there. I never stayed the night. A lot of Somalians in Sweden. Yes, it's true. Yep. That's what my homie told me. Everyone just want to police what black men do. Yep. But Splash looks like you don't like Africans. Do I need to ban you? Because that was stupid. I never said anything. I never said I don't like Africans. When did you hear me on this stream say I don't like Africans? I just told you that there was one guy I know who was African that was paying for, a working woman's services. But anyways, take a look on the screen right here. And I don't know where this brother's from. I need to find out where he's from. What city is he from? All right. See, this article is from the Atlanta Black Star. I want to know what city he's from. They just say he's American. They don't say what city he's from. Um, is he is he from Atlanta? Dude, this right here, this you don't book your stay at a trap house. All right. There's shit going on in this building. And I know I'm joking, and it's not a laughing matter, right? This is not a spot you stay at. You don't book nowhere here. All right. You don't book nowhere here. This one of them like little favela spots where you already see the steps. The walls are probably the same color, right? There's probably three women up in there doing a cam show. You trying to get some sleep. You hear all these notifications going off next door, on both sides. It's women naked, twerking, playing with themselves at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? Trying to get a little bit of money. The dude downstairs doing the same thing for a different crowd of people, right? People's ribs is touching. The bathroom got a pot in there. They shower with the pot. It took them a minute to go get that pot and sterilize that water and bring it over. They can't just let the water run in that type of building. Running water is too expensive in that kind of building. This is where you book your room at? Fellas, don't book a room in anything that looks like this. My goodness. If anyone wants to go to Cartagena in Colombia, it's a somewhat safer bet because I heard that the premium luxury cruise ships port there. Man, look. Brothers, I don't want to hear this no more about where it's safe, where it ain't safe. Now I'm hearing brothers are going back to the DR. Hey, look, man, I don't want to keep reporting on you guys, but I'm going to keep reporting on you guys if I see this again. This might be, I might have to turn this channel into, the Passport Bro. We're going to have to open up a Passport Bro murder file channel, right? Right? Like Law and Order. This is a crime busters channel right here. I might have to turn this channel into that because like you guys are dropping left and right. You guys don't know when to stay out of Colombia. What is in Colombia that y'all, it's like, I know some of the women are cute there. I know the women are cute there. There's cute women all over the world, but it's something about Brazil and Colombia where brothers just like, hey man, be careful going down there. Oh man. See, I know how to move. You scared. You scared, huh? Yeah, see, I know how to move. I've been going there for 10 years now. Yeah, I know when to move, where to stay out of. Them other brothers, see, They lames. Like, I don't deal with them kind of women. All right, all right, you got it. I ain't even gonna argue with you. You got it. Then people show up on the news. They telling you how they moving, and then you look at this picture right here, and this is how they moving. This is how you moving in the trenches. I remember this one dude. I know this one dude, right? He would go to Brazil, and he was talking to some chick. The chick was like kind of like this. She was an older chick with two young daughters, and but the daughters were of age. And so he books a room instead of her coming over to the hotel. He just like, hey, you know what? I'll save some money. I'll go to her house. I'm like, what? He's showing me videos of him uh sitting outside on the porch, showing the neighborhood. I'm like, hey man, this where it go down at. This place make O Block look like Sesame Street. All right. So he all over at the house showing me videos, and then he telling me stories like, hey man, I was dealing with this chick, but her ex wanted her back. Her ex was Brazilian. He wanted her back. And then, we out taking pictures at the club and, you know, showing pictures of us at the restaurant and you know, us having a good time at the house. She posting these pictures on her Facebook page. The ex sees that, and then the ex commits suicide, right? I'm like, you realize that this is a different kind of person right here, right? Because normally, when guys get that angry that they feel like they have to take a life, it's usually the person that is with the woman. It's not themselves. Yes, that happens, but most of the time, it's usually the new guy that the woman is dealing with. You lucky that this man took it out on himself because it could have been you. And then you still playing around down there. You see what I'm saying? So, and that happens anywhere you go, but don't go to the place where it's more likely to happen, in the neighborhood where it's more likely to happen, in the building where it's more likely to happen, on the street where it look like it's more likely to happen. Like, how do there's not enough renovations in this home that would make me even want to book a spot right there. I want to see that Airbnb listing, this brother, and I'm not trying to make fun or anything like that. My heart goes out to him and his family. But I want to know what the Airbnb posting looked like. Did they show the front of the house? Because normally they do. Oh, this is the neighborhood. Some of these countries, they're good at Photoshop. Like Thailand, they're real good at Photoshop. Taiwan, very good at Photoshop. They'll take pictures of a list. I remember one time they took a photo of a listing of like an apartment. It was like, yeah, this is the outside of the building, this is the inside. Man, when I got there, and Taiwan's a safe country. When I got there, building raggedy as hell, rats everywhere, mold growing all over the building, right? I go inside. As soon as I walk through the front door, I look to my left, big ass hole in the wall. The dude who's showing the apartment to me, he got a Protect Philippe on. I'm like, man, come on now. Come on now. So you mean to tell me you showing me, you know, a shithole that you trying to charge me like $700 a month, And $700 a month. That's like high end, in Taiwan. You trying to show me a spot? You trying to convince me to move here in a spot for $700 a month that ain't really worth $100 a month, and you got to protect Philippe on with a big ass hole in the wall. Talking about now, once you move in, we'll patch it up. No, it ain't gonna be no move. You can patch it up. I'm not moving in, right? But the pictures made it look really, really nice. They put a shine. They put that ping, that shine in places with that that on those Cash Money albums, 400 degrees. It'll say 400 degrees, and it's all diamonds, and they got that shine on it, that ping, right? They putting shine on the plants. Plants don't do that. It got shine on the plants in the photo. Plants don't do that. I walk in there, it's totally different. That happened to me many times in Thailand and in Taiwan, right? But this right here, I want to know what that listing looks like, because let's say you on a budget, because it's like, okay, let me get something cheap that I could deal with for a whole month, because he stayed there for a month. No, some of you guys are gonna have to go up, you know, raise your budget, or condense it. Pay that same amount, but condense it for 5 days, right? You would have got you the Ritz Carlton or the Peninsula, right? Book someplace like there where security really don't take shit from nobody. No, these are our clients, right? This hotel has a good reputation. They pay us a decent amount of money. And if we let anybody come up in here with the intentions on robbing or unaliving or drugging any of our guests, then it's going to fall back on us. And we're going to lose our jobs. The hotel, it will probably shut down. Go someplace, man, where the security is Trump tight. Damn, that really hits home, because I heard someone in my city unalive themselves in a similar situation. What situation? Once again, man, I know I'm, trying to make light of the situation. I'm not laughing at him. I am concerned as to why he would book uh, a spot like this on the screen. But I'm seriously not laughing at him. I'm very sad, because this, I don't want to see brothers. This man was 47 years old. I don't Obviously, I don't think he was married. I don't think he had any kids. I don't even think he had a girlfriend, right? And it's like, you find an alternative way to make yourself happy, right? You're happy now. And that the price of your happiness is death. I don't like that at all. I don't like that for black men. It's like, knowing what we go through, he's had the same experience. And to find a way out, and for your life to get stripped while you were finding a way out, that's horrible, right? That is horrible. I'm sorry, I meant the Brazilian ex that on the life him. What? Brother, what are you? Can you type that in English? Let me read what you wrote. I'm sorry, I meant the brother. I meant the Brazilian ex that on the life himself actually found out what his wife did. I don't know what you're saying. I I don't know what you're saying. I appreciate your support though, but I don't know what you said right there. I need like a conjunction, a pronoun. I there's The grammatical errors in what you wrote. I meant to say unalive because my text to speech is terrible. I can't. Oh man, where you from? If your text to speech is bad, you must be from like Augusta, Georgia, or Murfreesboro, Tennessee, with a heavy accent. And you from Goodnight, Texas. he, he from Buscaloosa. What's that one? Buscaloosa, Louisiana. Damn. Siri don't know what the hell you saying. Where was Jay the Youngin from? Wasn't he from like Buscaloosa, Louisiana? I remember he got on Vlad. Yeah, I'm from Buscaloosa, Louisiana. I started laughing. I'm like, where is he from? Man, that Texas speech, I can't understand you. Yeah, you went to the same church as Benjamin Crump. Oh man, I'm sorry. I didn't. My bad. I didn't know you were legally blind. My bad. I was just, I was just, I was just joking. I did not know you were legally blind. I'm sorry. My bad. I don't make fun of people with disabilities. I'm sorry. Does anybody else have any? As a matter of fact, let me. Damn, now you got me feeling bad. I did not know you had a disability. Yes. See, this is a good brother right here. He has a good spirit, right? Took it on the chin. He said, "It's okay, man. We're all family here." He knows my heart, right? He knows my heart, and I hope that he knows my heart, and he doesn't create a YouTube channel and make nothing but videos on me, shitting on me. I hope he doesn't do that. I've had people do that before, make entire videos. I remember there was one dude, he made two diss rap songs about me. I know, I forgot one of the songs, it was on that Tupac's back beat, right? That song, I think it was Chris, man, so many people had like a freestyle to this song. I remember Chris Brown, he did a rap to it. I don't know if it was original song, but that Tupac's back beat, right? He dissed me on that beat. I remember that. I'm like, the beat's kind of fire, but your lyrics are kind of trash. Like, I love this channel, and that inspired me to want to travel someday, especially to Japan. Yes, I appreciate you. Thank you. Because my inspiration has been lost several times while running this channel, right? And what motivated me to want to come back and do this was I was at home for 8 days and I was bored and I was like, hey man, let me talk about what's his name? Dwayne Morris out of Minnesota, brother that lost his life in Brazil. And then O'Shea Duke Jackson gives me a shout out. And I'm like, damn, how you come across my channel? So, salute to O'Shea Duke Jackson. I appreciate him. And, you know, something just told me, hey man, keep going. So now I'm back making beats and I had everything deleted on my laptop and on my other computers. So then I re-downloaded everything, and when it comes to making beats and programs and VSTs and plugins, that will take hours, and I'm always moving around. I don't have that much time, so I should be fully done downloading everything by because I leave tomorrow. I should be done by Friday. So I'm just, you know, my motivation is back. You know, I might get some Rode microphones to start, doing live streams while I'm on the road, giving words of advice, motivation, um, and doing more than just trending topics and news articles. But I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Does anybody else have any comments, questions, or concerns? Does anybody want to share anything before I get up out of here? 'Cause I'm gonna go work out. I need to do some cardio. I need to do some cardio. 30 minutes. 30 minutes. I got this playlist. It helps. Anybody anybody got anything they want to share? Or any ideas for the next topic on the next live stream? Um there's some topics I want to talk about as far as traveling. As far as traveling goes, there's some things I want to talk about. I do want to do a live stream talking about most women, how most women, because there was a video going around of this dude telling his daughter, I guess they in some mansion, he got on jewelry. He tells his daughter, don't you ever let a man go 50-50 with you. You only deal with a man who pays all the bills. And most thorough men out there, they don't, if he's not paying 100% of the bills, it ain't 50-50. A lot of guys, it's like, I'm talking about men. A lot of guys that do like 70-30. So I have some things I want to talk about on that topic because I've offered that to several women that I've dated in the past, and they said hell no. They told me hell no. They didn't want no man taking care of everything. They said they wanted to work. They told me I don't like being somebody's subordinate. They said they want to be their own boss. I'm like, okay. So this whole a man paying 100% of the bills, shit. Like, and there's some women they'll allow that, but man, most men don't even know the response behind that because they've never offered that to a woman. Most guys cannot offer that to a woman, and I understand that. I could never, even to this day, offer that to a woman in America. This was when I was in Taiwan, all right, that I could offer that to a woman. So this wasn't America. Yeah, but those women say, no, I don't. I'm gonna sit at home and I ain't doing nothing. I'm like, no, you'll be definitely doing something. What you talking about? Doing nothing? Nah, I want to get out there and make my own. And I ain't nobody subordinate. It's like, right? So I want to talk about that on probably tomorrow's live stream. Anyways, it's almost been an hour. It's been real. I hope you guys learned something today. My heart goes out to Mr. Dakari, Dekere, Dikembe. My heart goes out to Mr. Cobb, Mr. D. Earl Cobb. Excuse me. My heart goes out to Mr. D. Earl Cobb, him and his family, his friends. I hope you guys learned something today. Stay away from South America, and please spend a little bit extra money for at least a 4-star, 5-star hotel. Right? Don't stay in the cut nowhere. You know, where people's ribs are touching. I'll just put it that way, right? If you're not coming to give and do the Lord's work, then stay out of these areas. All right. Stay in an upscale area. If you can't afford it, just save up a little bit longer until you can afford it. Right. And if you can't afford that upscale spot for a month, but for a week, then just do the week and come back home. You know, we don't want to see this happening to anybody. All right, I'm out. You guys be safe. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace. And happy Labor Day. Almost forgot.